This is Wildermyth. It's an indie tactical role-playing game that I've kind of been obsessed with lately, partly because of the kind of storytelling they're doing. They're doing procedurally generated stories surrounding characters and your choices in a way that actually feels very relevant to the kind of storytelling we try to do in State of Decay. And they've succeeded in some ways that I'm really impressed by, and I feel like they're shaping my thinking about the way that you can approach procedural storytelling in video games, which is why I just kind of keep playing this game. So let's continue the story. One thing I really like about it is it's got kind of a unique voice in the writing. It's it's telling really interesting stories and exploring interesting ideas, but at the same time it's kind of self-aware and snarky, which is sort of the attitude that I take in my game writing, and so I think it just feels very familiar to me. If I feel at home with this kind of thing. So this is the second campaign. So far I've only played the first campaign twice. I played it once at actually I should show you this. The difficulty levels are great, and oh wait, can I change the difficulty levels right now? Oh, maybe I can only do it at the beginning. Well, the difficulty levels are named after authors. They are, let's see here, they are C.S. Lewis is the easiest, then J.K. Rowling, then George R.R. Martin, then H.P. Lovecraft. And I love that they managed to find all four authors have two initials in their names, and they are legitimate representations of the level of difficulty that they're talking about. So first I played the initial campaign at J.K. Rowling level, and then I played it at George R.R. Martin level badly and failed and died, and it was a disaster. Then I played again at George R.R. Martin level after interacting with whoever it is that writes, for their social media channels. They gave me some good advice. I came back, tried it again, and I won. And so now I'm ready to move on to the next big campaign. Now this is a 5-act campaign instead of a 3-act campaign, so it's longer. We're starting here at the second act. So I've played through the beginning. I've sort of established my initial characters, and so this is the map of the world. So I spent the first campaign sort of conquering, or at least exploring and securing this area from the kind of fantasy cyborg monsters that have taken over a lot of the place. So each of these areas, you can see, they provide, like Nimblenews Forest here, provides 3, is this spell thread? I think this is spell thread. It's a resource that I use to upgrade my characters. And so each of these places provides me with resources. The blue shield means that I've set up defenses, so if it gets attacked, we're in better shape. And I've got my 4 characters up here. We've got Fidel and Galatana are my warriors. Marcetta is my hunter. Or huntress, I suppose. I don't know. And Jamriel is my kind of wizardy character. I think they're called the Mystics. Yes, she's my mystic. And the way they work is one of my favorite parts of the game. But actually, first off, I should figure out where my head belongs. I think it belongs up here, maybe? I don't know. I might move around a couple times as we see what the UI does. So the way that it works is, this is actually a tactical game, like XCOM, or like the new, Dark Crystal game, or any of the games in that kind of genre. And the overworld here is how I get into the fights that make up most of the moment-to-moment gameplay. And this is also how I marshal the resources that allow me to sort of fight back against the hordes. So the hordes are out here in this unexplored land. Each act opens up new unexplored land for me to go into. So I've also got these 2 little timers up here that tell me when bad things are going to happen. Right now they're at the bottom, so I've got a little bit of time. So the first thing I want to do is, there's a potential recruit over here. So first thing I'm going to do is try to grab that recruit. So I've got all 4 of my characters here. When I'm sending people on a mission, I can decide who to send. A lot of the time, if you're going into a big fight, you want to bring all your characters, or as many as you can, so that numbers. The numbers game really matters. But because I'm feeling safe, I want to figure out, okay, so I've got this really powerful huntress here. I've already got 2 warriors. And so maybe what I want is another mystic. I've got to decide which class I want to get one more of. So I think I'm going to go with mystic. So let's keep everybody else, and let's send my mystic to go do this recruiting job. So she'll go recruit this other character and train them to be a mystic. Meanwhile, the other characters are going to go, and I need to figure out how I want to conquer this territory. Because if you do it wrong, if you end up surrounded on all sides by enemies, you can basically lose a war of attrition. And so you don't want to do that. You want to sort of cut off avenues of attack early. So this area here feels fairly isolated from the rest of it. So they're going to be coming and attacking me on this side. They're also going to be coming and attacking me on this side. If I want to be able to adequately defend myself, I think I need to connect these two peninsulas. So I think this is the first place I need to take over. If I have this, and if I cut a bridge right here, then if they attack me on the right, or if they attack me on the left, I can still marshal my forces and defend myself in time. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to send everybody else to this spot right here to scout. So everybody goes, let's go. Now that I've assigned everyone, their pawns just start moving on the map, and time progresses. You see the enemy stuff is filling up. So we're kind of progressing towards bad things happening, but we're also progressing towards good things happening. So we went to Winsome-Bide, and we get a new recruit. This guy's a poetical hothead. I can randomize this guy as much as I want. I can have a greedy peacemaker, a bookish loner, a poetical loner. So these traits determine how the character behaves in the story. Or I have the option to pick from my legacy. So characters that I've played in the past that have been successful, I can bring back into the story again. And so these are mostly from my successful campaigns. I think some of these might be from my failed campaigns, characters who died, who I decided to hold on to. So I'm looking for a mystic, and I've got, let's see here, I've got enough legacy points to recruit somebody who is lower level. So I could grab Sen here, for instance. She's got the same little story quirk that my current mystic has. That's kind of lame. I can grab Tomlin. He's indignant. I think Tomlin. Well, I don't remember much about these two. I think I just sort of kept them because I wanted to learn how something worked. I'm not that excited about them. Oh, there's also Bess. I did just play with Bess. I kind of like Bess. Okay, you know what? Let's grab Bess. So we're going to recruit Bess. She's an existing character, so I think she comes in at a higher level than a normal recruit would. But she also costs more points to recruit. So I'm going to recruit her. And that results in a story. So I came to town looking for someone to help against some Morthagi, and folks invariably told me to talk to Bess. Well, you found her. You've got quite the reputation around here. They call you Merchant of Death. Yeah, well, business is booming these days, thanks to Morthagi. My point is, if you've got any kind of edge in battle, we could use another fighter with the knowledge of interfusion. That's the magic that they use, and it's great. How convenient. I was just thinking that I could use a change of scenery. Give me a day or two to get my things in order, and I'll head out with you. So the nice thing about grabbing a legacy recruit is not only do they come in, I believe, at a higher level. This is the first time I've done it, but this is the reputation that they have. So I think, oh, let's see here. Oh, no, she is level 1. But I think, oh, but she starts with one of the traits that I gave her. That's right. Okay, so as characters level up, you give them traits. And it looks, or abilities, I guess is what they're called. So she starts with one of her abilities, even though she's at 0 experience and level 1. And she starts with slightly better equipment, so that's good. So she's not completely the character that I had in my original story, because that character was much more leveled up. But it's a version of her. But she also starts, she doesn't need to be trained. Normally you have to spend time training someone. So now that I've got her, I'm going to click on this scout job the other 3 are doing, and I'm going to add the other 2 characters to that job. Notice that they have to go, wait, oh, that's just super lame. Actually, let's not do that. Instead, let's have these 2 characters build the bridge that we need. That's going to be way better. Let's see if this works. Okay, yeah, they hadn't left the territory yet, so they're going to start building the bridge. And it looks like these folks have run into our first potential fight of the day. Now, I could have the fight right now, but I'd be kind of at a disadvantage. And so let's see how fast these 2 are building this bridge. Oh, they're kind of taking their time, aren't they? Huh. And it's getting... Okay, well, here. Let's at least have them patrol so that this area isn't infested with enemies anymore. When an area is infested with enemies, just moving through it can get you into a fight. Okay, so we're good. We're so close with this bridge. Let's just get it done. But, okay, so one of the enemies' little bars filled up. So now we've got, basically, these are cards. So the enemy armies are made out of cards, which determine which enemies can show up in your fights. And these enemies, this is basically telling me that more cards are being added to their deck, and the enemies are getting tougher. And if I had any legacy points left after recruiting that character, I might be able to stop some of them, but I can't. So I just have to let them get tougher. So one thing that I learned when I was interacting with the Wildermyth people on Twitter was that I really need to be holding the enemy armies back this way. So hopefully I'll be able to save up some legacy points to hold them back in the future. Okay, but we are really close here to the bridge being done. Okay, so now we've got a bridge. So now I can send all 5 of my characters to have this fight because they can cross the bridge. And now all my area, my entire front line is united, and so when enemies attack, which is going to happen very soon, I'll be able to hold it off. So each time you start a battle, they drop in one of these little procedurally generated storylines around it, and they sort of slot the characters into appropriate roles and play out some dialogue and give it some context. So, hey, did anyone notice that? It's not daytime anymore? What's going on? We just ate and the sun was directly overhead in the clearing we were in. Suddenly the bush next to Galatana erupts into a flurry of ebon feathers. They burst out of the treetops, a spiral of onyx, their raucous caws startling the other birds around them. By the way, notice, this is called As the Crow Flies, and it's by Shay Rossi. All of these little stories have credits and authors, and I think it's because when you start the game, start a new game, they ask you if you want to involve any mods, and I believe that their plan is for players to be able to just create new stories to be randomly inserted into the game and to be able to credit themselves so that when you're playing through you can have favorite authors and things like that. Anyway, so bunch of crows. But just as suddenly they spiral back down, forming a tight ball of whirling black, almost like smoke. Until, whoa, some person. Who is she? She seems so familiar. Yes, Galatana, familiar indeed. You can read my mind? How? The separation between us is an incidental thing. Still, it troubles me. And I wish to be whole. I know her from my dreams of flight and feather. What say you, Galatana? Are you ready to embrace me once again? Whoosh. Okay, so here I get to make a choice. Am I going to accept whatever weird magical thing is being offered? This is often the choice you have to make, is whether to accept a weird magical thing. She's like, nope, not yet, or fight back. So usually with the first time I encounter a new one, which I have never seen this one before, I usually just jump right in to find out what it is. So let's do that. We are already as one. A small tornado of talon, beak, and feather engulfs him. Galatana! When the oh my gosh. What? When the dark cloud clears. Galatana's a bird woman now. Okay, so looks like we're not facing Morthagi. I don't actually face these guys very often. I don't know much about them, but luckily they're not super leveled up. These guys have some extra health, but that's about it. Okay, so, little spirit. If one of my characters can catch up to that spirit, even though it's usually risky to chase them, we can level up their gear, which is really good. So you'll notice that some of my characters, like Jamriel here, she's got an eye replaced by a crystal. That was the result of one of those little stories. And oh yeah, Merceda here. She's got this like fiery crest on her head, and you'll notice her left arm is made out of fire. She used to have a longbow, and she can't use a longbow anymore because her arm became fire. That's, those are all the result of these little stories that get told about the characters. So each character sort of like takes on, an identity that's based on these little stories that get told about them. So early on, every character is basically a blank slate, and it's these stories that give them their identity, which I think is it's a really good strategy that I think, has got some advantages over the way we do it at State of Decay 2. Anyway, so I've got a bird head girl now, which is just amazing. So the question is, who do I want to have chase down this spirit? Galatana can't get there. Marcetta's already super powerful, but she's got kind of a crappy bow, so maybe Marcetta wants to do it. I could also get Bess up in there because she's new. Because this thing is going to keep running away. I have to chase it if I want to get the advantages of it. Well, so these two can't get there. So it's either Bess or Marcetta. Bess is kind of vulnerable. She doesn't have any armor, so I think I'm going to throw Marcetta at it. So, Marcetta, it's you. So Marcetta catches up with the Leaf Spirit. It's all right, little one, but what a story you'll make. Bree, bree. Okay, so I can enchant her ranged weapon, I can enchant her melee weapon, or just get a legacy point. So I'm going to enchant her crossbow. And so now I can replace it with a magical leaf version. So it doesn't go up in level, it just gains magical abilities. So yeah, let's do that. So now, because it's leaf, the stunt effect is that it grants 2 temporary health. Okay, so whenever I basically get a critical hit, which they call stunts in this game, I get extra health on the hero, which will be very useful for a character who's probably about to get attacked twice. Okay, so now, step 2, we get to learn about the magic system in this game, which is freaking insane. Okay, so Bess is going to get one step closer. You'll notice that when I'm controlling Bess, there's a lot of blue highlighted furniture around. That is because she can possess, she calls it interfusing, she can possess any of these things and use it to attack monsters. So every map is full of furniture and obstacles and surroundings and stuff, and she can use all of it in her magic, and depending on which thing she chooses, she gets different powers, which is just great. Okay, so stumps give your Splinter Blast, which shreds armor, but it usually destroys the thing that you're using. Trees get Splinter Blast, but I think she gets Wild Grasp. No. Yeah, so it just, because it's a plant, it gets Wild Grasp, which pulls an enemy closer to it, which might be useful because I think these enemies are a little bit far away from my characters. Rocks give you Discus, which is mostly just straight up attack. Ropes give you Constrict, which stops them from moving. So I've got all these different things that I can do. This guy's ranged, so if I wanted to hobble someone, I want to hobble this guy with the sword. Ooh, campfires are good. They can set people on fire. I think because this guy has 2 armor, I'm going to grab the Stump and Splinter Blast him. So I possess the Stump, it's mine now, and now I Splinter Blast this guy. Unfortunately, my character's level 1, and so she doesn't do a ton of damage. So this character, okay, I'm going to run her up here. And she can armor other characters, which is nice. I don't think anyone's about to die this turn, though, so I think I'm going to guard. So I've got another Mystic. So this is the Mystic who recruited Bess. She's more powerful, so I'm going to move her up. When you move characters next to each other, they gain a point of armor between them. You notice that each character has got their health in green, and they've got purple, which is warding against magic damage, and they've got blue, which is stopping its damage resistance against physical damage. And then everyone also gets 1 extra point of physical damage if they're standing next to each other, which always makes me want to arrange them in ranks. So let's interfuse again. This time let's interfuse... We can do another Splinter Blast, but well, you've already seen that. Let's do... Okay, let's do rocks and do Discus. Okay, so let's use Discus on this guy. Oh, he dodged it. Crap, because that was going to completely kill him, which is great. Anyway, let's put the Guardians, put the Warriors in front of my Mystics in Guardian mode. Okay, and of course he attacks her. Okay, good. If they had both attacked her, that would have been bad for me. I'm trying to remember if any of my characters have aid. I don't think they do, so I don't think I can heal anyone. So we just got to kill these creatures as fast as we possibly can. So first things first, Jamriel is going to interfuse with this tree and Splinter Blast the crap out of both of these guys. I believe that this tree has a bigger Splinter Blast radius than other things. Okay, so she shredded the crap out of those guys. But Splinter Blast is really powerful because it can hit a lot of guys and take their armor down, but it always destroys the thing that you're using, so it's expensive too. Okay, so which one of my characters... I'm trying to remember. I think Galatano was my damage monster. Let's see, what does she... Gear... Okay, her damage is 5, and then let's look at Fidel. Fidel's damage is 6. Okay, so Fidel does more damage, so let's send Fidel up here to deal with this guy. So when you use blunt weapons, you knock the character back, and when you use cutting weapons, you don't. Okay, then do the same thing over here. Okay, so these characters are taken out. Marcetta, I'm gonna just hold her back for a bit. Get ready with an ambush in case someone comes through the door. Let's move everyone up closer. Okay, next turn, they've opened the door. Oh, crap. But they didn't come charging out. So, okay, Marcetta is here. Can she... How close does she have to get to reach this guy? Right there. Okay, so I'm going to move Marcetta just close enough. And shoot him. Oh, she got a stunt, which got her some extra... You see over here, she got temporary hit points. She's way less likely to die now, which is great. So let's move Fidel up. And let's move Bess behind her and see what Bess can interfuse with. So we've got some buckets for Splinter Blast. Looks like everything here is Splinter Blast. We've got Wild Grasp, but pulling him out of range doesn't sound like a good idea. Looks like everything is Splinter Blast, so okay, whatever. Let's grab that thing and Splinter Blast with it. Okay, we got a stunt. We're good. Not the last guy, though. There must be somebody back in this corner. So let's move everybody up. Get ready to protect the magic users. Awesome Twitch dude. I don't know why you asked me to flex. I don't have any muscles. Okay, hopefully that's the last guy. Let's see. And victory! Nice. Okay, cool. So this is our experience. Gets distributed to all the characters. Nobody levels up. That's fine. Okay, and then we get some equipment. This is how you really level up. This is, I mean, leveling up matters, but this matters more. Okay, so we just got some Feather Steel knee pads. It gives you 0.7 speed. Now, 0.7 speed isn't enough to change anything in combat, but you get a lot of these less than 1 items, and you try to make them add up to have an effect. So, Marcetta, her speed would go up to 6 if she got it. Galatana wouldn't go up appreciably, but Fidel would. I think Fidel was actually... Her being fast was really nice because we could get her close to the enemy. I'm kind of inclined to group this to her. So now she's got these knee pads on. So all the characters, they always stand in these positions because this is their paper doll. Which it's great. So yeah, so she's got knee pads now. She's kind of my faster warrior. Alright, creeps, what goodies did you leave around here? Ah! Oh no! Guess we missed one. It was with that toothy fellow back there, wasn't it? That wing doesn't look good. Good riddance, it'll take care of itself. I bet the Droven pack plenty of bird feed. Jamriel's getting closer. I could fix it up. Might take a little while, but I've worked on birds before. You could all go ahead, I'll catch up. This one's like, yeah, save the bird. He just got done slaughtering its master. And that was necessary, but saving lives, even small ones, is the reason I'm here in the first place. Whenever this character talks, I just want to be like, brah, brah. How long do you think it would take you? Brah. Nothing too bad. Maybe 2 weeks? 2 weeks? That's noble and all, but we have actual enemies still out there. We can't be losing days to nursing mean-looking birds. Okay, so I have to decide now. Is Jamriel going to stay behind and mess with this bird? Or is she going to go with Galatana? Because I've just replaced Jamriel's role in the party, and we've got Bess now, I'm kind of inclined to just let her stick around. I need to find this part of myself again, to know it's still in there. By the way, I love the way that they can script these comics to like have the panels appear in any order and be arranged however they want. I don't know what scripting system they're using, but whatever it is, I hope the tool is good, because the the effect is really powerful. I like how much artistic control whoever's scripting these scenes has to make it play out for you however they want. You can go right to left, left to right. Things can overlap with each other. It can, the panels can make one big picture like you can see there, or they can make different pictures. You just got all kinds of options. It's great. Anyway, so Galatana doesn't approve. Don't stay too long, okay? Don't worry. If it starts to look like a lost cause, I'll catch back up straight away. Alright, so you can never cancel this. So the enemy just gained another card. I can't stop it. But you can see that my team, the War Bonnets, has 2 LPs, so that's for winning battles. Okay, so we got a couple things to do here. Treat the bird, first off. That's Jamriel's job. And then claiming this territory is done most quickly by Mystics. So let's have everybody do that. Let's not move on until we've got the whole team. The enemy is about to attack. You can see that little red bar is almost full. All right, let's go find the others. Okay, so we're still claiming the site. We are about to get attacked. That means that one of these territories is going to generate an army that's going to come marching on one of my locations. I don't know which one, but whatever it is, I'm going to want to defend it. Here we go, Incursion. So if I had 5 legacy points lying around, I could cancel it, but I don't have 5 legacy points, so I won't. It looks like it's coming from here. Okay, it's going to be there very soon, but luckily my team is already here, and we've got everybody ready to go, so let's prepare defenses. Alright, so my favorite one is archers, so I always start with archers. And let's have everybody do it, so it'll go faster. So we've abandoned this job for now. We'll finish it later once we're done with this attack. Okay, so there's 4 different kinds of defenses, and basically you can just use all the time you have to get it done. Sometimes the enemy gets there faster than you and you just don't have any time to do any preparations. Sometimes you can get all of them done. I might not get barricades done. Let's see. I didn't get the barricades done. That's fine. They're my least favorite. They restrict my movement, so it's not that big a deal. So the vague noises of their approach blow together with an unwashed stink that clogs the nose. The Deepists are coming. So there's 4 different armies, and so now I know I'm facing the Deepists. And so there are these different moves we can do. That each of them is triggered by a different character, and they all have different chances of success. So we could sing an Elden song as one that has the highest chance of success, and it's gonna, if it succeeds, it'll give us an advantage in battle, and if it fails, we'll have a disadvantage. But I think I've got 5 characters. I feel pretty confident, so let's go for it. The great song their voices take up bonds them together. It fills them with hope and valor. So the roll went well. So now everyone gets 1 temporary hit point, and our stunt chance is doubled, which is nice. We get to do that like massive damage effect pretty often. So right now we're facing slingers and fighters, but because this is an attack, this is an incursion, we're going to keep getting new enemies until, either they run out of enemies or we run out of turns. Oh, so this is just a setup for laying traps. So we want to stop the enemy as they're arriving, so I'll just play some. So these traps will hurt the enemy and stop them from advancing on us. So let's put our warriors on the front line. I don't mind having them move a little bit too far. Normally I only move them into the green because then they can still guard against people who come close to them. But this first turn, nobody's going to catch up to us, so I don't mind that much. Similarly, let's get the magic users behind the warriors. And so notice Marcetta has not yet fully healed from the damage she took in the previous battle. It takes time to heal between battles. And so she's actually at a disadvantage right now. So she can ambush someone. So if somebody comes in, say from the left, she can shoot them. Everyone else should wait. Let's see here. Okay, so they just added another enemy. But nobody's arrived yet, so whatever. We'll just wait. We can wait. Done. Guardian. So different classes or different characters will sometimes have different things they do. This blue option here is always the option to end your turn. But sometimes they can guard, sometimes they can ambush. There's different things they can do. Okay, so he just hit a trap and took damage, and he's stuck. He's the only one we can see from here. Can you... Okay, so I love this. When she ambushes, which means she's waiting to shoot someone who comes into a range, if she fails to use the ambush, nobody steps into the range, her next turn, if she doesn't move, she can fire the shot she would have fired at somebody else. And it doesn't cost her attack. She can still do her normal attack the same turn. So that's great. It feels very efficient. I never feel like I'm losing out by ambushing with the character, which is awesome. Okay, so let's prepare these guys so we can interfuse with that tree, which reveals a little more. My sight lines are determined in part by the things I've interfused with. So she can do the wheelbarrow, I guess. We might want to advance later on so we can get more interfusable stuff within our range. So I guess we'll just guard, we'll guard, we'll guard. Here comes this guy. And this guy. And the slinger. Ooh, horn children. Horn children are gross. Okay, so Jamriel can splinter blast any pair of these guys. Let's just do these two. Marcetta can't shoot anyone from here, but she can ambush, so as soon as they get into range, she'll fire at them. I could splinter blast again. I kind of want to wait in case something with more armor is about to come down the trail, though, so let's just wait with her. Guard, guard. And here we go. So she shoots the slinger as he arrives. By the way, I realize that I am completely missing the chat right now. And the reason for that is I'm so excited about this game, I'm just talking nonstop about what's going on the screen. So I apologize. Loading a sling. Okay, yeah, so the more slingers are showing up. Okay, so we've got this Minotaur guy. And so this is why I'm glad that I waited with Bess. So now Bess can splinter blast these guys. She's not very powerful yet, but she was able to take out his armor, which means I can advance advance Fidel to hit this guy, knock him back, and kill him. Let's see here. She can shoot him, or her cone of fire doesn't reach that far. So she has a special attack because her arm is made out of fire, which is great. So she still can't shoot anybody. So let's get her ready to ambush whoever comes close. And yeah, you know what? Let's wait for them to come to us. Time is on my side because I only have to last for 9 turns. So I'm in no hurry to just close the distance with these guys. I might close the distance now that I am out of stuff for my magic users to use. So let's advance. Oh, dang. Yeah, there's often a chance that a character will block your attack. That's fine. And then let's move up Jamriel. So Jamriel can now interfuse with this tree. And then she can wild grasp this slinger, which pulls him in. And now he's going to be within range of Marcetta's cone of fire, which leaves fire on the board, which is useful for my magic users, except that, whatever. We just won. Oh well. Okay, so Jamriel has leveled up. And the way you level up is you get all these statistical bonuses, which are these are all fairly small compared to what you can get from items a lot of the time. But I get to choose a new ability for her, so she can get advanced abilities for things like Wild Grasp. She can get more advanced stuff with this one. Riposte means that she can counterattack. She's not that great in melee though. Oh, but she's got a bird. And she can force enemies to move. That's kind of cool. But let's go with naturals, because I don't think I've ever done that one before. And we found an axe. Is it better than anybody else's axe? Or mace, or whatever? There's Galatana. So she would lose knockback. So Fidel, is Fidel the one that... Fidel has a mace usually, right? Yeah, she's got a mace and a shield, I believe. I don't remember which one of them has a shield. Crap, was it Galatana or Fidel? I think maybe it's Galatana. Whatever, I don't have to replace either of their weapons. I can put this in an empty slot. So let's put it in an empty slot. So each character gets to have 2 weapons. So now she's got a 2-handed weapon or a 1-handed weapon. So, cool. So yeah, the deepest get tougher. Okay, let's have a look at these characters real quick. So, I just gave Galatana the axe. Okay, and she's the one that has the lantern. Okay, so she's got a defense that's good against magic when she's carrying her mace. But, okay, so, okay, good to know. And then I'm curious, the bird. What did the bird do? She's got a bird. It just gives her a passive bonus to accuracy. Cool. She's got a gem leg. So when a character dies in battle, you have some options. You can have them die heroically and they're gone, but they do something in the battle to give you an edge. Or you can have them be maimed and go home. And so they get 1 chance to be maimed. So I maimed her, and she died in combat, so I choose for her to be maimed and to recover and come back. She only gets 1 chance to do it. She started with a peg leg, but I think because she's got this gem in her eye, she ended up with a gem leg? I guess? I don't know. But her block is improved, her speed is reduced. That's fascinating. Okay. Wait, what does the gem eye do? Hold on. Oh, it increases her stunt chance. Okay, cool. Good to know. Anyway, so right now we're kind of... I guess we might as well sort of finish the thing we were working on. But then let's finish claiming the site. Okay, so the site is safe. And we're going to get some prizes. Okay, so another item. So it was +5 armor. Doesn't do much for Jamriel. In fact, I think nobody is going up a whole number of armor. So maybe I just kind of choose somebody. Maybe I just give it to Galatana. I've been kind of min-maxing her armor up, so that works for me. Oh hey, Deathcrow is here. Deathcrow, we've got one of your family members here. This is great. Anyway, okay, so we've taken this area. This will be much easier to defend. So now we need to make some incursions into their territory. So I kind of want to go from one side to the other to just keep narrowing the range of areas where they can attack. This is the final place I want to go. So this is mountains. It's impassable. This is a mountain range, so I have to build a pass to get through it. So, like, enemies could attack me from over here while I'm all the way over here. So, once I have more characters, it's possible to split my forces. I don't have enough for that yet. So I think maybe what I'll do is I'll build a bridge. No, I don't have to build a bridge. I can just go around this corner here. I'll go around the corner, scout this place out. Yeah, let's bring the whole team. Looks like Marcetta finally healed. Oh, wait. Okay, we've been given an opportunity. This is a story that kind of interrupts what you're doing. So, a passing pilgrim saves Galatana's life? Trekking the narrow winter roads of nowhere, sudden illness clogs Galatana's chest, shoots barbs through her veins, rouses her in the night to kneel, heaving in the dark outside the tent. So far, she's pushed through, hoping it would ebb. Instead, it's worsening. Gah. Yes, you're being brave, Galatana, but enough's enough. Here, let's camp in this spot. Looks defensible. Marcetta sets Galatana down, then goes off for firewood, enough to last the night and the following morning. Galatana sips from her canteen. Sunset's not yet close. And odd enough, that's when a faith called Pilgrim comes down the road. You're bad off, aren't you, Earth Daughter? You look it. Do you mind if I stoop down and listen to your signs? I'm Bali Wraithwack. No one worth fearing. Pilgrim of an order that's never been popular, a god who'd never asked to be. Whoever you are, The pilgrim bends down and places fingers on Galatana's pulse, holds a coin before her mouth and an ear to her upper chest. I've seen symptoms like these, certainly. Your eyes are still clear, that's good. How long have you... 3 days. Just 3. Who are you? By the way, I love that he is not commenting at all about the fact that she has a bird head. You her friend? Well, that woman's suffering from Igochora. Rare disease. Folks get it in winter, a wayward spore. I can treat it, but to cure it is impossible. Or nearly, I suppose I should say. You're a good man. Boley's administered a small elixir made from water and wild barrowbell, as well as some burnt crushed mushrooms. He told Galatana to sleep, and she's been in the tent ever since. She'll need more of this elixir. The rest of her life she'll need it. Igochora leaves husks where happiness was. It's a brutal way to go. You mentioned a cure? And I shouldn't have. It's one of those convenient stories about a miraculous heal-all. Once long ago I tried to find it. The journey cost my brother his life. By the time I'd returned empty-handed, the man who would have healed had already passed. Desperate hearts are reckless. Treat the disease patiently and she'll live longer. Talking about me? Oh, you're already looking better. Some constitution you must have. Feel a lot stronger, and I thank you. But so tell us both, about this cure. Galatana. Oh, Dale, my goddess, my god. He mumbles into the fire a moment. Is this the purpose my wandering feet follow? If it is, and it must be, I'll trust my feet, I will. Our paths brought us all here. Who am I to deny my place? They huddled close to the flames as the pilgrim, Bolly Wraithwack, reluctantly described a distant place, a harrowing guardian, a legendary restorative. And in summary, since you seemed set on seeking it out, please let me accompany you. It's clear to me that I was put in your path for this holy duty. You'll need the elixir regardless. I can teach you how to make it. Okay, so right here, before all this, so you can make the choice that they never went on this trip in the first place, and Galatana never got the disease. Or you can choose to go with it, and I'm going to go with it. I always go with it. Alright, so Galatana's a warrior, Marcetta is a hunter, and Bess, or Jamriel, is a mystic. Because I can only bring 3 and I have no idea what they're about to face, I'm going to bring my strongest mystic, so let's go. So, wait, pause. Okay, so these guys are heading over here to have this adventure. Meanwhile, the folks that I already sent to scout are scouting. This is dangerous, just to have Fidel and Bess here. They could get ambushed and get in trouble. So, I'm going to go with it, but it could be bad. Okay, so we got here, and we're going to play through this story. I've never met a holy pilgrim. Over the course of the journey, the disease hasn't left Galatana's body, but her health has returned little by little with the elixir Boley's brewed. You're a pilgrim of the Wandering Church, aren't you? Probably have obligations, right? Big gatherings? Your cheeks look less sunken, and also they've covered in feathers. Glad to see you eating more. So Deathgrow is like, I need more context. This is weird. Yeah, no, I understand. I'm weirded out by the crow head too, but this game has got stuff that happens. They're nearing their destination, an ancient shrine to the sea where the fabled restorative is said to be housed. I remember this forest. It's been all my life and I haven't returned, so it's almost like he's alive again, my brother. Night knocks them off their knees. A short, salty dinner, a stiff drink, and a draught of medicine. Sleep. Is it draught or draft of medicine? I'm never quite sure, actually. They wake to mill in the cold dawn, achy and oddly anxious. You asked me yesterday, Galatana, about being a pilgrim. Yeah, but if you... My brother and I told you we went after the cure together? Well, the man we were set on retrieving it for, he was our father. In failing, I lost them both. I was overcome with, so many feelings. Guilt, mostly. That I'd led my brother, Helmy. I'd led Helmy to his death, and for nothing. In the end, it was for nothing. A great cosmic joke. They pack up their camp in quiet and set out again. My brother tended to fear the forest, Came along despite that. Anyway, I dropped my heart in a well of hatred. I'll spare you those evil blank stories. But I met my pilgrim one day. Ina, she was called. One of Dale's wanderers. Dale, our god. Our goddess Dale. Come walk with me. The unusually sinuous track that winds between the trees leads beneath a rocky overhang into the belly of a cliffside and down. By the way, this is the longest one of these I have ever read, but it's interesting. They clearly have something to say here. That's all she said. That's all anyone needed to say. I was young still. I'd been torturing myself and the world. Old Ina taught me about Dale, her god. Not to force me to change, but to affix before me a kind of star. By the way, I love that they're using all of these, like, of course, I guess because this character is pre-generated, maybe they just generated this image and it's always the same. Because the images that involve my characters are all obviously, you know, kludged together from these paper dolls. I keep having to pause and wonder how they're putting this together. Anyway, not to force me to change, but to affix before me a kind of star. Dale is a woman and man, thing and idea. All is in Dale, Dale is in all. Thus wandering amongst all is joy. Keeping a journal of your journeys is worship. All paths lead to us where we must be. The whim and the will are no different. All I do is love. Love where my feet carry me. The whim and the will is no different. That's it. I love these turns of phrase that this Douglas Austin guy is coming up with. I didn't believe it quickly, but gradually, the steps we took, seasons and years. By the time we came back to my hometown, I wasn't angry anymore, even at myself. Sorrowful, bitter in moments, but aware as I'd never been of all the love I'd been given, all the love I still had a chance to give back. And stay back, bully. Oh, but that's Helmy? My brother, standing exactly as he stood when it struck him. Why, I mean, what? Come, take a look at this. No time to dawdle. Stay alert. This may be our vaunted guardian. What's left of it, anyway. I remember the thing snaking, moving, alive, the terror of its forged fire eyes. Not moving now, we're lucky. Who killed it? This altar looks pristine. So that's secure, bully? What'd you call this sickness I've contracted? It's called Ikuchora. The word is Narek. And this remedy? I don't know, the story's old. A restorative of some kind that could be used to heal any malady. It's hard to compare a legend to a hunk of glowing salt. Book I read described it as a gift from the sea, answered with treachery. A single crystallized miracle. Close to the crystal, unless they're imagining it, they hear the noise of playful waves and ribboning wind. Oh, interesting. So I can use it to heal Galatana, or I can use it to heal the guy's brother. Crap! Oh, okay. Here's my problem. I just got this crowhead character. I want to see her be a crowhead. Sometimes these things will change over time and grow and develop, like that, you know, the woman with the crystal eye who ended up with a gem leg. Or there's one character who got a magic dagger and slowly turned into a weird skeleton monster over the course of many months. And I want to see if Crowhead does that kind of thing. So I'm interested in that. But I'm also super interested in what happens if we heal this guy. Like, having Galatana make that choice is so interesting. Oh my gosh. I'm genuinely flummoxed. I love this character. I want to save her. But I also really want to see what happens here. Wow, okay. So, I think I'm going with this one. Even though it might lose me my crow-headed character. Galatana lifts the crystal off its altar. It threads her knuckles with spirals of light. So, you have to eat it or something? The light feels damp. But someone else has first claim. Galatana? Where's she? The world needs people like you, more than it needs, well, anyway. I guess maybe it won't even do anything. Oh no, Galatana, it won't work. I don't think it... We'll see. Galatana holds the crystal close to the stone man. She forms and forces all the weight of her will into a single idea, a miracle, reversing whatever change wrought cold rock from once warm skin and muscle. Icy radiant slivers drip from the crystal's core. Sound to all of them becomes warped and blue. Gloms and layers of light find invisible cracks and filter beneath the man's stone flesh. The crystal in Galatana's hand shrinks to nearly nothing. Another glance finds it entirely dissolved. One last wave of crashing brilliance submerges them and drains away. A briny-smelling mist clings to the air. Helmy, are you... Bully, you're... No, you're too old. I'm much too old, but it's me. Just then a hungry growl emerges from the shadows beyond the Gorgon remains. It's echoed by another unseen mouth. Something's woken up. We'll meet you at the mouth of the gully. Go on. But I can... Come on, Helmy. Not this time. That was pretty brave, Galatana. It wasn't anything. Now here they come. I have no idea what's going to happen to Galatana, and I am riveted. Okay. We got some gobblers? I don't even know what... Okay, I've fought Gorgons before. I have not fought gobblers. Gross? Okay. So... My toughest character, move her forward. But... Oh wait, we can Splinter Blast. I might have just put her into harm's way. Let's see. Nope, I can hit both of these characters without hitting... I thought it was without hitting Galatana. Oh wait, Galatana probably already started in a bad way. Because of the illness. Okay. So I can do that, or I can Cone of Fire them. There we go. That was it. Okay, so everybody... So does leveling up heal disease? I feel like I might be wasting my time. Oh, Sentinel. Oh, she can jump even further to guard people. Or she can just teleport places. I like this one. Okay, I'm not going to give Galatana any equipment, though. Just another shield? I don't want another shield. So let's get an ingot from it, which I can use to build later upgrades. Suppose they're the one who killed our guardian. Maybe? Or just moved into the den of a dead old monster? Not that it matters much. Suppose it doesn't. Alright, so... See? Here they come. Just a couple of weird cave beasts. No match for us when it came to it. Your name is Galatana? You healed me? Anybody would have. Don't overglow. Best thing now is to get away from here. Talk as you walk. Yeah, sorry. They follow their own path out. Afternoon flares and begins to fail. Furs and wild herbs scent the trek. It's still a beautiful world, you know. I've always... Anyway, you'll find so much love to do. Your life is only now getting started. No, yeah, I know. Or, I mean, I'd like to know. It'll just be tough that you had to give up so much. Won't lie, I'll think about it, and... The return is faster and more eager. Galatana and the boy Helmy carry on a conversation. Awkward, but important to them both. This feels like as far as we'll go tonight. Your friend is a very good woman. Oh, yeah? Remember to be proud of her even while you're sad. The Ikachora, the sickness, will take her in time. But the life she's brought back, that matters to her. Be kind about it. Be kind to them both. I must humbly ask you, neither deserve their fates, but their paths crossed. By the time the stars appear, Marcetta and Boli have a fire blazing, a stew of wild onions and mushrooms to fill them all. I've thought about this, Galatana, Marcetta. I want to join your band. You mean the Warbonnets? That's right. I came up with that name, by the way, completely at random. I don't know where my brain got it. The sky deepens, a moonless sea of stars crossed by fast clouds. I'll say right now I'm pretty shaken. Like, I don't know how I'll ever close my eyes again. Maybe that's why I want to be like you, stronger. Please, if you'll have me. Dad will be proud, Helmy, and I'll always be, whatever path you take. I get it. You're probably just ready to turn the whole world over. Wouldn't want it to get in your way. Further talk decides it. Young Helmy's going to be a hero in the spirit of the woman who rescued him, risking all. Bolli, the pilgrim, will set aside his wandering to live close to his brother for whatever time he has left. Dinner's long down by the time the siblings go to talk in the tent. Galatana and Marcetta remain out, listening to crickets in the wind. How's your... Breathing gets weird. Things feel kind of frail, maybe just worn out. A single owl muses out loud, then falls silent. Tired old voice left alone in the night. Embers redden to black. It's not fair, Galatana, out of nowhere. Glad I found this side of myself. That's what I'm feeling, more than being sad. We'll keep looking for a cure. We might find it. Every night from then on, Galatana would drink an elixir to ease the pain and slow the illness. She'd brew it more and more potent, even as it became less and less effective. Still, she'd never regret her choice. Inside the tent. I really just can't believe I'm talking to you right now. Worry if I close my eyes, I'll wake up and bet you sleep before me. Your voice, how'd I get so old? No, please, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Helmy. Want to ask you now. Following a path beside Galatana. When you were a kid, it was always stick swords and dragon battles. But as Dad said, we inherited our mom's eyes and his deft hands. Always felt you could be anything. You know what I'm hoping? You were like the woman who saved me. I wanted the green trails. I'll take mastery over the maladies. You know, I need a hunter. Like, I want to have 2 of each. And he did have, you know what? He had a bow. Like, I could have him emulate her, but he did have a bow in the original image. I kind of like him being himself. You always were a natural with that bow. Okay, so she came back with her journey with a deeper heart and a calmer mind, ready for the challenges that lay ahead. Oh wait, oh wow, she got even more experience. Huh. So she can leap. That's kind of like the Sentinel thing. Let's do this. Okay, so I have Galatana, but I guess she's just going to be slowly dying? And that's just how it's going to work? But I've got 6 people now. That's really cool. Okay, so we're really set up to succeed. We got these 2 over here, scouting. I'll slowly take over this area. And honestly, I don't think this is going to get better than that story was. So, at least not anytime soon. So I think that's a really good time to end on. So, but that is Wildermyth. So over the course of 5 acts, I'm going to be exploring this terrain, going through stories like that one. Each of these characters is going to go through multiple things and sort of develop into a unique individual over time. And this team is going to be, you know, fighting in these battles. And it's, you know, the battles are a lot like XCOM with some very, very clever things. Like the interfusion stuff is amazing. It's kind of like XCOM, but I think these stories that are told about these individual characters, instead of like amassing a large group of sort of interesting but semi-faceless characters and interchangeable characters, this is really making me think about who each of these characters is. And the team is small, and it focuses me on just on this like individual, on this very small group of individuals, and it's a small enough number that I can keep them all in my head and remember who they are. And so I end up connecting to them a lot better than I do in a game like XCOM or in a game like State of Decay, honestly. So I'm really impressed with these folks and what they're doing, and so I'm going to keep playing this game and learning everything I can from it. But for now, I'm going to put it into this video and then move on to another game. And it's only in early access, I think, so it's just going to keep getting bigger and better.